Hey my loves, what's going on? Thought I would share with you very quickly how to prepare a 7-day candle for employment. If you are looking for a job, if you have recently gone on an interview or you have an interview coming up, then this would most definitely give you an extra boost in being hired. It will help you shine to prospective employers. And it can also help you to attract the type of work that you are looking for. This is an extremely simple candle spell, but highly, highly, highly effective. One of the reasons why this particular candle spell works so well, if you notice, this is called a talisman candle, and this is a talisman sigil that's specific to work. This candle happens to be in Spanish, but they do have them with the words written in English, which primarily, this is a listing of different type of jobs. So mechanic, cook, driver, just a sort of an example of different fields and industries that you can work in. This color comes in the solid green. It comes in the double action, which is green and yellow, and it also comes in green and orange. What the difference is, there's not too much of a difference. The green and yellow is used for success. I would probably use that for a job interview so that the interview goes well and you are successfully hired. The green and orange is to remove obstacles. It also creates feelings of friendship. So if you want a employer to like you, if you feel like you've been having a hard time finding a job, or you've gone on interviews and you're not getting hired, then the green and orange may be the better option to remove any obstacles. The green one, if all you can find is the plain green one, that's fine. You can tweak the herbs that you use or the oils that you use to do the same thing. So for example, you could put a road opener oil in here if you're having a hard time finding a job or being hired. You could put Crown of Success oil in here if you found the job. Maybe you've been on, I've had jobs where they did multiple interviews. They will call you back for a second interview. You want success that you're actually hired. So this is, these are some options. I'm going to show you very quickly how to prepare this with some simple ingredients you most likely already have at home or can find at your local store for a couple of dollars. Of course, this can become very elaborate. There are multiple herbs and oils that you can use, but for the sake of the video, I'm going to keep it simple. Assuming anybody looking for a job is on a budget, so the last thing you want to do when you're trying to make money is have to spend a lot of money on your spell work. Now, the candle, I've actually already cleansed this. I ran this through some incense smoke. I will say do not use Florida water on these particular candles because the alcohol in Florida water will wash the words off. The reason why we don't want to wash the words off is because letters and words and symbols and sigils carry energy. They vibrate. If you remove them off the candle, then you're defeating the entire purpose of purchasing this. You might as well use a plain green candle. Another option, you can always, perhaps you can't find this candle, you can get yourself a green candle. Go online. There's a thing called Google. It has a lot of information and it's free. You can print out some sigils for work, sigils for employment, sigils for money. You can print those out, sketch them out, draw them out, however you want to do it, and you can attach them to the front of the candle or place it underneath. So don't feel like because you can't find this candle, you can't do this spell. There are options. Where there's a will, there's a way. You can purchase this candle on Amazon. You can find a local botanica. You'd be very surprised. I talk to people every day that tell me, I don't know if there's any spiritual shops where I live. Unless you live in the Bible Belt, and even if you do, there's a spiritual shop somewhere. Or you're just on a farm in the middle of Kansas City somewhere, there is a spiritual shop. And the way you find them is you punch into your Google metaphysical stores, and then you put your zip code in there. I guarantee you will pull something up. If you live in a city or a state where there's a heavy Latin community or, an island community, you're going to find a botanica they're going to have. This is a very common candle. Last but not least, you could purchase this on indioproducts.com. I do not stock these in my shop primarily because these are easy to find, and I try to offer things, at least on my online store, that may be a little bit challenging for people to find, so I do offer those to you. But this is the candle. This is the prayer. Again, they do have one in English. You don't have to use this prayer, but some people just can't ever seem to think of anything to say over their candles other than, so you can use the prayer, but simply your words are power. Light your candle. I light this candle with the intention of being hired at X, Y, and Z company, or I like this candle with the intention of making, you know, $700 in Uber this week. Whatever it is, just say it. Just what, you know, what do you want? I know, you know, you can write a petition, which is totally fine, but the bottom line, keeping it simple, just say what you want. Where do you want to be hired? How much do you want to make? Very easy. All right. So the way that I dress this candle, and this wick is a little to the side. You want to, I don't know if can you guys see that? You want to do better than me. Try to get one that's in the middle. This was the closest to the middle that I could get, so we're going to work with what we have. You want to put some holes down inside of your candle. I just have a little, you know, little plastic green. You could use a pencil, a pen, a barbecue skewer. Doesn't really matter. But the reason why we put the holes in here is so that some of the herbs and oils can seep down inside of the candle and don't just get burnt away on the top when you light it. I like to use the number 4. So I put 4 holes and I did them in clockwise. I'm sorry if you guys can't see everything I'm doing from this angle. I'm kind of working at a weird angle here with my tripod, so bear with me, but I'll try to do the best that I can. 4. And if you want to kind of think about it, it kind of goes back to the olden days, you know, 4-leaf clover. 4 is considered a lucky number. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking the little excess wax off and just putting that in my sink. What you're going to need to dress your candle is some rosemary. If you didn't have anything else, if all you had was rosemary and maybe some cinnamon, that would be great. This can be found at almost any local grocery store, Walmart, Target, Publix, Kroger, Ralph's, whatever. They have this, about $1 if you have a Latin store. A lot of those, I don't know, well, here in LA, we have a lot of like little 98-cent stores, like family-owned stores, where they carry these types of herbs. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to see, you guys are asking questions. I'm going to try to get through this video, and then if I have a couple minutes, I will go back through your questions. But you need some rosemary. You should get some sugar. It doesn't have to be brown sugar. It can be confectioner's sugar, any type of sweetener. I'll just put it like that, a natural sweetener. So whether that's sugar, honey, agave, maple syrup, stevia, but you want to make sure it's natural, no high fructose corn syrup and none of that. Some natural sweetener, but I like to use sugar personally. And then you're going to want either, I suggest getting pumpkin spice, since this is a combination of all the money drawing herbs. If you don't have that, you're perfectly fine working with some cinnamon powder. And then an anointing oil. So again, you could do a money oil. If you don't have a money oil, you can work with patchouli oil. This particular patchouli oil is from Azul Green. It's not a pure essential. It is mixed with a carrier oil, which I believe is sweet almond oil. I picked this up at my local metaphysical store because I just, you know, I didn't feel like ordering any patchouli. I needed it for today pretty much. So it was $7. Very reasonable. Any brand of patchouli oil that you find is perfectly fine to work with. So you could also use rosemary essential oil in place of, or cinnamon essential oil. So that's just, if you don't have the herbs, you can definitely get away with using the oils for this. So what I always like to do is I anoint the candle first with my oil. And let's see if I can do this. I'm left-handed, so I'm going to see if I can do this with my right hand. You don't need a lot of oil. A couple drops, okay? And then what you want to do is you kind of want your oil to go around in the candle. And this is where you're going to have to, you know, you may have to get a little messy. I anoint the inside of my candles, the glass. I really want to make sure that the wax itself is fully saturated. So if you have to pour a little bit more in, go right ahead. You don't want to use too much. If you ever get an oil and you're not sure if it's real or if it has real essential oils will burn off. Granted, you don't use too much. It will burn off. A synthetic oil, like the ones that they sell at the Botanicas, will ignite the top of your candle. So that's how you can know, besides the price, of course, that's how you can know if your oil is real. I'm not trying to, you know, bash any of those products that they sell at spiritual shops, but those little square bottles of oil that are like $2, doesn't have any chi in it. There's no energy. So you can put your own energy in it, but it's pretty much mineral oil and dye. Okay, so now that my candle is anointed, and you know, it's not going to be super pretty, but we're not going for aesthetics. We want this to work. I'm going to take my rosemary, and this can be done in any particular order. I gotta get some more spice jars. And always what you do is you don't just throw your herbs inside of your candle. I don't know if you guys can see that, but see how I have them here in my hand? So number one, I like to crush my herbs because it helps release some of their properties. Rosemary happens to smell very good. But not only that, I'm thinking my intention. So you can put them in your hand, cup them in your hand like so, and say a blessing over them. You can ask Rosemary to lend its magical energy to help you find employment. If you are going on an interview, you can ask Rosemary, and Rosemary makes you stand out on a prospective employer. So you can ask the Rosemary that you shine, you know, made the hiring manager or the company or the employer, you know, really like you and see you as the best suited candidate for the job. You can also bathe in rosemary. So you can either put some rosemary oil on yourself prior to going into an interview, or you can take a shower in it, a bath in it. You can soak it in a bottle of water for a couple nights, spray yourself, and this will help you stand out. If you've ever been to a group interview, I've been in group interviews where you're like in a room with 20 other people and they're asking you questions. It's very easy to kind of, you know, get drowned out. So you want to be the one that stands out and shines. So I'm going to take my herbs in a clockwise, because clockwise is coming, drawing in, attracting, bringing to us. I'm going to sprinkle them at the top. And again, I'm going to be thinking or speaking out loud my intentions. Doesn't need a lot, but you want to put enough. Okay? Just like so. Okay, you see how much that is? Not too much, not too little. I am very heavy-handed with my herbs, so if you are heavy-handed, then you will, you know, they can ignite. So you want to make sure that when you're dressing your candle, if you notice that your herbs are very close to your wick, just move them out the way. They don't have to be perfectly around the wick or anything. Just move them out the way. For my sugar, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to take a little pinch of sugar, place it in my hand, maybe cup my hand over it, set an intention. You want the job and the money to come sweetly to you. You want the employer to be attracted to you, not in that way, but attracted meaning you are an ideal candidate for the job. If you've ever been on a job, I remember a job years ago I got hired and they didn't want to give me my desired salary, but they said that they would do an evaluation after my, 3 or 6 months, whatever, and they would renegotiate. So I did this specifically when I emailed my boss saying, hey, can we still do that evaluation? And I was able to negotiate the salary that I wanted. So you can definitely use this for that as well. Last but not least, I'm going to put in my pumpkin spice. Try to do that in a clockwise motion if possible. It's powdery, kind of goes everywhere. These particular herbs, the reason why I'm recommending these is because these are the ones that I feel work best for job work. But please, if you've used some different herbs for jobs and you've seen success, I would love for you to share those down in the comments so other people can use them. Sometimes, you may have something on hand that I did not mention. In addition, an alternative again, you can use some star anise for success. So I have some here. It doesn't matter if it's in the whole form or if it's in the seed form. My bag is open, so I'm going to try to hold it up without spilling it. So some star anise. You could use some lemongrass for removing obstacles. So like I said, if you can't find the orange and yellow one, then I would add some lemongrass or some, you could use lemongrass, you could use bay, you could use a little bit of sage for removing obstacles. So, just do your homework. You can Google herbs, put in what herbs are for opening roads or what herbs are best for employment and kind of cross-reference that to what you already have at home or what you can find in a local store. Let's see. I am going to, Adrian says, could I use road opener oil? Yes, I mentioned that in the beginning of the video. You absolutely can use road opener oil for sure. Maya says, which flowers you like for money candles? Flowers, if you're meaning the herbs, there's a ton of them. So there's skullcap is my favorite. You guys hear me reference that a lot. Basil, bay leaf, alfalfa, patchouli. I mean, the list goes on and on. I have about 1.5 videos on my YouTube channel for money candles. So if you want to know which herbs I like to use, you're more than welcome to check those out. I don't see too many questions here. Okay, let's see. Can you use sea salt for candles with words? Can you use sea salt? I would not use anything liquid on a candle that has words written on it because you will wash it off. And sea salt water can be abrasive. Your best option would be smudging this with some Palo Santo, frankincense, sage, something to that effect. I would not, do not wet this candle is what I'm trying to say. Rose water's okay, Cassandra, but again, you know, I wouldn't wet the candle because you're going to lose a lot of the writing that's on here. Oh, one last thing. Let's see. Is there one for healthcare, or can that... Okay, I'm a just... I know some of you guys probably joined the video a little late. This is a job candle. It can be used for any type of position you are applying for. Okay, and then one last thing. Get yourself some call money incense. I talk about this stuff. I did a whole video on how well it works. A lot of you already know. Get yourself some call money incense and burn it every day that this candle is going. I promise you, you will see success and you will get the job. You'll get a job, or you will get the job that you want, okay? All right, my loves, I'm out of here. I know some people are waiting to talk to me. I love you. I hope this was helpful. I really do. Good luck on everything. You will be successful for sure. If you have any questions, leave them down below. You can inbox me or schedule a consultation if you need some more one-on-one help. And I will talk to y'all a little later. I'm going to do a video later if you guys are interested. This big thing back here are my yoni herbs that I am making for fertility. So for a lot of you ladies have been asking me about a fertility video, a part 2 fertility video. If y'all are interested and you want me to show you how I prepare these and go through all the herbs and what they're for, I will try to get that done for you tonight or tomorrow. All right, babes. Love y'all. Love all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to y'all soon.